All right, so start over again. Yeah, so the services. Mm, mm, Really good. Let's go here. All right, so let me do this a little bit smarter. Take three of me trying to record. All right, so we're on Cloud Shell right now. Cloud Shell is a service. Mentioned Cloud Shell before, but it's an easy way to connect to the cloud and use commands. You can do it through your browser, you can do it through your phone, you can do it through your PC, you can do it through your tablet. It doesn't matter. You can access Cloud Shell. You can use Cloud Shell to execute commands and get information. So there were a couple of things that I ran before that gives me some information that I need. This is one of them. And then this is another one. So I'm running commands. The other part of this, that's the main thing that Cloud Shell is used for. Cloud Shell is used to run commands and get information about what's happening in the cloud. So you run a script, which is a set of instructions. You tell it to the cloud, and then you get information back. So it's very interactive. You make a request for information, or you give a command, and you get some information back, or you get some confirmation that the command succeeded or failed. So that's one. The other thing, I'm going to skip billing because billing is not relevant to what we're talking about right now, but Cloud Shell is pretty important. I think we can talk about other stuff I can put in Cloud Shell. So in Cloud Shell, I can put stuff in like, get date, get the current date. It's probably a get time, whatever. Get time zone. All right, so set to, so this get command, get date gave you the date. The time zone is different, should be in Eastern time zone, but let's try get date using a time zone. Can we put a time zone in here? That's going to set it as that, but there has to be another command to change the time zone. But I'm not going to spend too much time on it right now. So that's Cloud Shell and EC2. It's a good time for me to check some other stuff. So EC2, I'll keep this around since we can use that later. Security groups, they're the default security groups. Let's see, I can get rid of this one since that one's not a default. Delete security group. So I want to delete this security group here. I can do that because there's nothing associated with it. So let's go through what else And so I can leave these around because security group, that's default. See if I can change. This is going to have a rule here that I need to change. So this is the default, but something's changed because there's two entries. Inbound rules, there's two. All right, so let's edit that one, see why there's two and the other one has one. So inbound rules. Okay, because I think I added this one for SQL Server. I'm going to delete this inbound rule for SQL Server. And I'm actually going to should delete this one as well because that IP address is no longer relevant. Yeah. So let's see. There's no entries here. Might be able to delete this. Let's see. Here's the security group, and yeah, this is all. Can I delete this one? I don't think I can because it's a default. Yeah, so this is a default security group. Has no inbound rules, so which means that nothing can come in. But there is, so what I'm going to do is yeah, for security reasons, let me do this. Let me remove the inbound rules because this lets everything in. Yeah, let me do that. Outbound is fine, but inbound means that anybody can come into the system. I can always change this later on to something that's more useful. But for now, let me just clean this up. Yeah, so that one right now, no inbound rules. So what else do we have in EC2? So we have 3 security groups. My preference, I still have this key. I have 2 keys right now, but let me delete this key because I don't really need it. All right, so that's gone. So there's only 1 key. So if I go to this dashboard, there are 3 security groups with no inbound rules, so no one can get into the EC2. And outbound rules, they can go out. I think you can go out anywhere. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do, but that's okay. So the security group. All right, so that's that. And I don't have any instances, so there's nothing here that is too compelling. But if we wanted to, what we could do is launch an instance, right? That's the interesting part. So launch an instance creates a virtual machine. And I'm not going to complete one because it's going to cost money. But for now, let's do a test server. And then let's do Amazon Linux. Take the defaults for everything else. Use this, the only key that we have. Use an existing security group, which is, let's see, for that VPC. Oh, okay, that's right. So there are 3 default security groups. Each security group corresponds to one VPC. And so we can go through those as well. So configuration is you can choose different operating systems, Mac OS, which is interesting. Ubuntu. the macOS thing is really fascinating to me. You have Amazon Linux, but you also have other types of EC2 instances that you can use. Architecture 64-bit, yeah, it's only going to be 64-bit if it's definitely at this point in time. You can choose different instance types. Micro is fine enough for just starting. You're going to need the key to log in, network, auto sign, public IP address. If you don't assign it a public IP address, then you have to have some sort of peering relationship or some sort of VPN to log in through some gateway to access the information. Otherwise, typically you leave this enabled. Otherwise, you can't access at all your machine, from the go. So create security groups, and then, all right, cool. And then choose to launch an instance. But this is interesting. I'm going to move this off screen for a minute to see what happens. I'm curious as to what happens if I say review commands. It is actually pretty interesting. So because it doesn't have any information that is proprietary. This is actually pretty interesting. So all that information that I had on screen, I can use that information in text. So I don't have to use a screen to do this. I can actually put all the information I want somewhere else. Like add a command line specifically. So enable resource name DNS. Well, that's IP4. It's IP6, I think. Oh no. A record I think an A record is IP4 and 4A record is IP6. All right, cool. So then from here, I can just choose to launch the instance. All right, so I'm not going to do that, but that's just gives you an overview of what you can do at the console in AWS to if you're using EC2. That's one service. So let me go back and do it the way I did this in order. All right, we can go back. So we looked at Cloud Shell, we looked at EC2. Let's look at VPC. Let's see. Do the same thing. Let me take a look around, see if there's anything I don't need on VPC that can't be displayed. And there's nothing here that's really complicated. Yeah. This. And subnets. I don't need that many subnets. Why in the world do I have that many subnets? All right, so we can also do some more cleanup. So I can get rid of this owner ID. All right, so on this one, this is on the VPC. I have a lot of VPCs. I don't need that many. I probably don't need most of them. So I'm going to delete almost all of them. I don't think I need or subnets rather, excuse me. I don't need all those subnets. So let's see if I can delete. See if it lets me delete these. So I'm deleting some subnets from the VPC. All right, cool. And I probably can delete this one as well because I'm not doing anything with them right now. So let me kind of be smart and just delete the subnets. Or I might have to have at least two. All right, I don't need any. All right, so the VPC dashboard. I have 3 VPCs, 3 security groups, DHCP option set, and that should be good. Internet gateway. Take a look and see if I need to do anything at the internet gateway. Yeah, because that gets me to the internet. So I'm going to delete the internet gateways as well because I don't need them for what I'm doing right now. So that would get me to the internet via that. You need some sort of gateway, otherwise this stuff doesn't work. For internet access, you really can't do much of anything with it at all if you need to connect. So I'm going to get rid of these 2 internet gateways. Don't need them right now. Yes. All right, so let me see if I can detach each internet gateway. Yep. So I'm going to detach from internet gateway. I want to delete. I want to detach from the VPC. And then I want to delete the internet gateway. But right now, I'm not doing anything with it that's even remotely interesting. So going through some resources right now. So 3 VPCs. The ACLs could probably stay. You can probably stay, but even with that, I'm going to delete them. It's good to get a all right, they're the default. All right, there's gonna be 1 per VPC, so I can't delete them. All right, so I'll leave those alone. The routing tables, I don't think I need the routing tables right now. So delete that. Do this. Let me get rid of the owner ID. All right, and right. So yeah, I definitely don't need that. I don't need any of them really. So I'm gonna try and delete the routing tables. All right, so let me delete the ones I can. Yeah, that's what I thought. So let me delete these. Delete these wrong tables. All right, so there's the wrong tables. Done. So 3, 3, 3. An option set. All right, so it looks like cleaned up most of those resources. So let me take a look and see what else. What else could I clean up? All right, so we went through EC2, Cloud Shell, VPC. I think we can go to S3. So clean up the. Let me show that. Let me show that. All right, so this one's S3. Go to S3 storage. And yeah, I don't need this one. I don't need this one. So I'm going to delete this bucket. Let me empty it out. All right, cool. We'll read some stuff. What interesting thing about deleting this, I'm trying to remember if I'm going to need that for Cloud Shell. This Cloud Shell does require a bucket, I think, for storage, or maybe just for the scripts. Yeah, Cloud Shell is still in effect. A lot of objects. I wonder how many what's the financial aspect of that? So that's 7,000. And let me check something else real quick. The billing. Yeah, all right, still zero. Probably because even with those 7,730 objects, yeah, that's 7.6 megabytes. So probably like whatever that math works out to be, like a meg, 1 meg per 1 megabyte per object. Or actually 100K per object. My math might be off on this one. 1,000K per kilobyte. 7,730 objects. So yeah, so each one is about a kilobyte roughly. So that's why I think it didn't cost anything, worth anything. So let's go back and see what other services we can check out. Make sure I'm still recording. All right, we're still recording. So let me go to model services. So Cloud Shell, Moss Explorer, that might be an interesting one. Trail, so let me try this. All right, before I show this, let me change the access key and then change the access key ID in the ARN. All right, so we got 3 people. Yeah. Everybody can log in. And what else do am I interested in? So I actually have to look at the service role. And you have this user, let's pick Megan Son. He's in which groups? It's not in any groups. Interesting. Change that. All right, but I do have some groups here. So teachers, no policies here either. Test group, no permissions. All right, so there's a policy here. All right, this is the one I created. All right. So let's see. So right access to Cloud Shell. So let me see if I can change this a little bit. Yeah, so this is keep from downloading stuff. And I do need another permission on that. So let me go back. So this gives people access to Cloud Shell, but there's other things I want to check as well. All right, this test group. So I have a policy, student Cloud Shell. I have a policy with, I have a policy and the policies. And these permissions is attached to this group, which is this group over here. And this group, there are no members. So let me add, since he's here, policy, let me add, go, Sabina. All right, so just add those. All right, cool. So they have access to Cloud Shell again. There's something in the policy that I want to edit that I don't think is complete. So can I do this visually? No. So what permissions? All right, so I do want to limit credentials. So get credentials. What does that mean? Grants permissions for council credentials to the environment. Might need that for this to actually work. So we'll leave that as is for now. So that was so we talked about S3. No, we talked about S3. Yeah, I think we did, but we didn't finish it. So let me go back to S3. Delete some other stuff. So there's no objects here. So what I can do is I can delete this bucket. There's nothing in there. Deleting a bucket is not fixable, which is fine. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave that since it's empty anyway, and I can always use it later. So I'll delete this. I'm just trying to clean stuff up. So I'm going to permanently delete this. It's not the best way to do it, but this is an explicit request to delete objects in S3. So that's being deleted. And then that's gone, that level. There's nothing to delete here. Yeah, there's nothing to delete here. Go up level. And then go up another level. And let's see if I can just delete this here. delete this bucket. Yeah, because I am not really using CloudTrail right now. Thank you. Paste and then delete. So delete that bucket. And then I actually want to delete this bucket too. I just said that I should probably leave it, but I prefer to delete it now and then explicitly create it later on. So I think I created this one manually. And all right, so now going back to services. All right, so S3, yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing, which is what I want. So we talked about S3, VPC, EC2, Cloud Shell, IAM. Let's go to, for now, let's go to CloudTrail for a second. See if there's anything interesting about Cloud Shell. Is there anything that I should care about here? All right, so for not Cloud Shell, CloudTrail. So CloudTrail, have some events. Delete bucket, add user, put credentials, delete route table. So all the actions that I've done, see them in CloudTrail. So that's good enough. I'll leave that alone. Leave the rest of it alone for now. And then another one I need to check is directory service. So, okay, don't have one. And then simple notification service. Do I have anything there? All right, I do. I have one. Let's go over there. Get rid of this ARN. It lets me alter it. It won't let me alter it. Here. I'll just delete it. And I have to do that off screen. All right. And then that's that. And what else? RDS. That should be interesting. Don't have any of those either. So this is this is the pause this long enough for us to. All right, back to recording. So, all right, we don't have anything with RDS. All right, so that is something we don't need right now. And I think that covers, I won't go into a cost explorer right now. IAM, we talked about. CloudFront, EC2, probably it'll go to CloudFront. Let me check that out, see what's going on there. All right, well, there's nothing there for CloudFront either. other than costing information. But we can create a CloudFront distribution. Yeah, I just won't do that right now. All right, so those are the services we talked about. And I think that's it for now. All right, I'm going to start the video. We discussed a little bit of CloudFront, not that big. RDS, I think simple notification service, but I just had one topic, nothing but directory service, CloudTrail, S3, billing we can skip, VPC we discussed, EC2, Cloud Shell, AWS Cosix 4 we can skip, and IAM we discussed. So I will end the video now. Please watch the video, just get an idea of what is out there, and we can talk about it in more detail. So I'll try to upload that right now.